Alrighty. If you are watching this part of my tutorial today, you're most likely watching the replay. If you don't see the little red circle up at the top with the live icon, then you are watching the replay. So if you would just leave me a little comment, hashtag replay, so I know you were here. Good morning, Ramona. You're the first one on. Welcome in. How are you today? I'm just trying to find my live. Hi, Elizabeth. Good morning. How are you today? How's everyone doing? Hopping on just 3 minutes early to tag us and share us and all of the things. Thank you to everyone for being here. Hi, Christine. How are you? Thank you to everyone who, of course, likes and follows my page. I appreciate your support very much. And thank you to everyone who shares and sprinkles. I'm doing that right now. Y'all, this morning when I woke up, I hopped on to watch Tanya, who's the first one up in our lineup today, and my comments were nowhere to be found. Good morning, Rosalie. I've heard other people saying that in the past, like, oh, I can't see comments, and it's never happened to me. Today it happened to me. But then I hopped over, off of Tanya's over to Michelle Crafty Ma'am, and there were no comments there either. And I heard everyone, because I didn't have them on my laptop, but I did have them on my phone, which was so weird. I restarted my browser. I did a hard restart on my laptop, didn't fix it. And then everyone was saying they were having it too. So it had to have been a Facebook interface problem with, at minimum, Mac laptops, because I had them on my iPhone and other people were saying they had them on their iPad. But then in the next hour, when I went to watch Susan, it was fixed. Comments are back. So thank you. Thank you. Because you guys know I stream from my phone and I read my comments on my laptop because they're bigger and I can see them better. So that kind of bummed me out a little bit, because I actually use my laptop. Hi, Vicki. How are you? Welcome, everyone. We'll give it another minute to let Susan finish her projects, and then I'll get started. Good morning, Rhonda. How are you? So, I am here creating today for the Bright Ideas Crafters in Marketplace Wednesday group. Debbie from Debbie's Bright Ideas group. On right before me was Susan from the Delighted Pumpkin, and on right after me at 12 o'clock Eastern will be Christine. I'm Snow Crafty. So we will hop over to her page when I finish my tutorial. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. We're going to get started. Our challenge today is tiered tray decor. And my tiered trays are kind of full as far as my fall pinkoween type decor. But I did scroll across this little cutie on Pinterest, and it was pulling at my heartstrings. Hi, Priscilla. How are you? It was pulling at my heartstrings, so I said I was going to give it a try to share it with y'all. And it's really tiny, so I'm sure I can scooch it somewhere. I'm sure I could move things around. Hi, Jeanette. Welcome. Welcome in. Hey, everyone. So I'm sure I can move things around and find a little place for it somewhere on my tiered trays. I have a big one on my dining table, and that's the one I rotate the seasons out. Then I have a smaller one over next to my fish tank on my shelves in my family room. I rotate a few of these things in and out on that. It's a smaller one. Good morning, Wendy. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome, everyone. And then I have another one off to the side in my family room, and I have another one in my laundry room. I love, oh, and I have another one in my kitchen. all done coffee. It's at my beverage station. All right, so at the Dollar Tree. Hey, KK, how are you? Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Tammy. Welcome in. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for sprinkling, Tammy. I appreciate it. Okay, I picked up a little 4-pack of these little black cauldrons a few weeks ago. I didn't at that time know what I was going to do with them. Good morning, sweet Jenna. How are you? And you guys know I'm not a super Halloween person, but I said, let me grab them because I will come up with a project and then I won't be able to find these anymore. So I just grabbed a little 4-pack of them. Thank you for sprinkling, Jenna. I appreciate all so very much. Hey, Susan. Okay, you're an overachiever. Susan did 4 projects today. I'll be lucky if I can complete 1. So this is how they came, black in a 4-pack. And you guys know my trick. Working and watching, good deal. Thank you for being here. Hey, Miss Candace, how are you? I keep my old clay that's not good anymore to like craft with, but I never throw it out. It's too precious. I keep it in a baggie in my garage and I use it to stuff when I need to do filler. So I stuff the inside of the cauldron with some yucky clay. And then this one is going to be for me. This is a second one that will be available for purchase. You guys know I do everything in beachy colors. Pink, aqua, orange, beachy blue. Hi, Maureen. How are you? Well, they're 90% done, so that counts. So I took this outside yesterday. I took the little handles off both of them, took this outside, and I spray painted it with some pretty light aqua. This is the actual color of my front door, guys, on the front of my house. And the insides of my walls, you could see here, are a more muted shade of that blue. So I love this beachy blue. Hey, Betsy. Hey, Tanya. Hi, Vicky. Welcome, everyone. All right, and I stuffed the inside of that one, too. All right, so let's get crafting. How's everyone doing today? I'm actually very chipper and awake for 11 o'clock in the morning. I think I went to bed a little bit on the earlier side for me last night. I think I went to bed 12:30. I'm still trying to recover from the weekend. We were at my son's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night, I didn't sleep at all. Thank you for popping in, Maureen. I appreciate it very much. And then Saturday, I slept a little bit better, but we were super busy. We got together with my other son and his wife and their 3 children. So 5, 6, 7, 8. At one point, there was 10 and a half of us because my daughter is 8.5 months pregnant, running around the house, and it was a lot. Every time I use this glitter, guys, it gets all over in everything. I love it so much, but now it's under my nail. I love it so much, but it goes all over the place, you guys. It goes all over. All right, this is a little key lime pie foam clay. And this is a nested circle cutter set from Annie's Treasures. It's smooth on one side and fluted on the other. Do I want to do the smooth or the fluted? Let's do the smooth. We'll do the smooth. I don't know why I just cut that right in the middle. I need 2 circles, guys. Oh my gosh. Apparently I'm not completely awake. I thought I was, but I'm not. Hi, sweet Tina. How are you? Welcome. Good morning. How are you today? All right. Sometimes when I talk and craft, you guys, it's a little crazy. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so now we have 2 circles, and I'll bring my cauldrons back. And let me, just for good measure, let me throw a little bit of tacky glue. Off to work. Maureen, remind me, you're in Montana, right? So you are Mountain Time, right? If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. All right, I'm putting a little bit of regular tacky glue on the top. I just bent over and I probably got glue all over my top, guys. Ooh, almost. It was that close, that close. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Welcome. All right, I'm going to smooth this tacky glue out on both of the little cauldrons. Okay. And I was a little cray-cray, a little overzealous. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. We lost the whole weekend. Like I said, we went to my one son's Friday through Sunday. Friday, we all got together with my other son and his family. And then Saturday morning, we were up at 5:30, out of the house by 6:15, and we went to a car show. My husband drove his Corvette. My son drove his Mustang. We went to a car show out by where he lives. There was probably a good 300 cars there. We spent a couple hours there walking around looking at all the cars. And the actual creator of the Saline Mustangs was there. The line was a mile long for people waiting in line to get his autograph. We didn't go in line to get his autograph, but it was pretty cool to see him. And then we came home in the afternoon. They had a fall festival in their town. And then just put the circles on top of the cauldrons, and see that covered the part where we put the yucky clay. And then I will end up doing the little rolled balls for the bubbles, but we're gonna place our item that we're making inside the cauldron first, and then at the end, we'll add a few bubbles here and there. I wanna place the item first and then see how much room I have left, okay? If that makes sense. If that makes sense, all right. And then as far as my aqua blue one goes, I pulled from my stash. I had one of these cute kitties. You've seen me use this before from my friend Jane Ann, Uniquely Chic by Jane Ann. I only had one left, and I had one of these left, the little pink pumpkins, and my friend Michelle from Crafting Ma'am made that for me. So I'm gonna put these, the pink, onto the blue one, and then when I do the black one, I will hand make a pumpkin and a kitty to add to this black one. So I'm gonna set the black one aside. And let's see, resin on plastic. Challenging at best, guys. Challenging at best. I feel like I want to use some hot glue for instant stick, and then I definitely want to use some B7000 because we're basically gluing plastic to plastic. So challenging at best. So I'm going to, maybe I'll wait to do that after you guys, off camera, because I feel like that's going to be where I have to hold it for a really long time. So I will put the kitty like that with the pumpkin off to the side, and it'll look something like that, okay? All right, so I'll do that off camera. It probably will have to be braced up and, you know, all of the things. All right, let's move on. So for what we're gonna put inside, I prepped a few things last night. Is Wendy watching still? I know she's at work. You know our trick. We use the little Tupperware container to prep things the night before. That way they still stay moist. So you can work with them and not get them dried out. And then I'm not wasting time on my live having you watch me condition and roll out clay. All right. So this is a little, I took Debbie's lead and I got me one of these measuring things. because I love how she uses her measuring cups and measuring spoons. So for the torso, I'm using about 3 grams-ish. And I used my little container. Hi, Diane. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Alyssa, welcome, everyone. I'm so happy you're here. So happy everyone's here. How's everyone's Wednesday going so far? All right, rolling some strawberry macaron out into a little ball. And then we are going to finger press it. And you see what I'm doing? I'm like pushing the sides down and flattening out the top a little bit. And then pinching it to make it a little flatter. I basically want it rounded but flat. Rounded but flat. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Shay. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'm so happy everyone's here. I know sometimes it's hard, especially weekdays, because some of you are at work. So I appreciate you being here very much. All right, and now I have 2 pre-measured little pieces of skin color, and these were about 10 millimeters of clay. In case anyone wants to reproduce this, if you have some of these, yes, Jenna. I got it off of Temu, and I like it because they're all in one piece. I don't have like 20 different pieces that will go all over my craft room and I would lose them. It's all one big piece, and they're teeny weeny tiny, like to use for an eye, all the way up to big. Temu. Pretty sure. Got it off Temu, pretty sure. All right, 2 little 10 millimeter, that's the only thing, it's in millimeters. So if I have a recipe for something in grams, I have to use my scale. I have a little scale that I also use. If you want to duplicate and like make 2 arms exactly the same, 2 legs exactly the same. All right, so I'm conditioning this clay a little bit. I'm double fisting it. I learned this trick from Leanne. I saw her do this one time. You're welcome, Jenna. You're welcome. Yeah, it's not, I leave it right on my little rolling cart next to me that has my rolling pins and all my little buckets of foam clay and my bags of clay. So that way I always know where it is and I can find it. All right, and then we're gonna roll little ball. Little ball. Hi, Kelly, welcome. Listening and working. Well, thank you for being here. Hi, Brandy. There's my friend Brandy. What is it, Brandy? A week from Saturday, we're going to see each other. I'm teaching a local class. And Brandy is driving out 3 hours from where she lives. She's driving out to come take my in-person class. I'm so excited. We haven't seen each other since I moved, since we sold the B&B. She used to come to my Saturday day crafts. We met at a paper crafting show in Winston-Salem, I think. That's where we met. All right, and then we're gonna do teardrop. Teardrop. Kind of get them about the same. And remember, guys, it's handmade, not Hallmark. So, hi, Chrissy. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Brenda. I know I'm excited too, Brandy. It might be a one-on-one class. It might be a one-on-one class. All right, so then I have my 2 little teardrops that are going to serve as arms. And I'm gonna put them kind of in front, but a little bit off to the side. I think y'all, when this finally comes together, I think y'all are gonna like this. I think you're gonna think it's really cute. Wendy, you will like it because it's small. All right, little body, 2 little arms, okay? Hi, Sue Ann. Hi, Rosalie. Hi, Peggy. Welcome in, everyone. I'm so happy you're here. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right, so I'm going to set that aside and get me some toothpicks. Actually, I can go ahead. Let's go ahead and add it so it glues itself on down. So let's go ahead and add it to our cauldron. I don't trust myself. Move my silicone mat out of the way. How are you doing? How's everyone? All right, a little bit of super glue and a toothpick. And we're gonna stick it right in the middle. Push it down pretty good. Actually, I didn't need to push it down that far because I'm gonna need it for the head too, but we'll add another toothpick. You can never have enough toothpicks, guys. My brain is actually not fully awake yet. I tell Debbie all the time, if an afternoon spot opens up in the schedule and she could wiggle me around, that would be great, because I am not a morning person, you guys. I am not a morning person. What side do I want to be my front? Okay. All right. See what I'm saying? Now I pushed that little torso part down and that green clay was still wet, so this way they will stick to each other and form a good bond. If I left the torso sitting out on the side for a half an hour, it would give both pieces a chance to form the skin and start sealing over. So there's our little body and our little arms. All right, let's work on the head. All right, so all I did last night is I got my measurement. Wrote things down, guys. All right, I used 18 grams. I used my scale. I used 18 grams of skin color and just rolled a ball. And then I kind of elongated it out to an oval. Then I flattened it down with the palm of my hand to create like a face. And then I did the same thing like I did with the torso. I like finger pressed it down a little bit on the sides to give it a cute little shape. Hi, AAA, welcome. How are you this morning? And then I used a smile tool to give her a smile. And then this is why I did this last night, guys. I had to practice like 3 times with the liquid eyeliner. Sorry, guys, my drawer is so squeaky. This is the one Shelby recommends. I get it right from Walmart, the liquid eyeliner. I had to do it. I made 2 of the faces. I probably had to do it 10 times, guys. I had to keep drawing it on and wiping it off because it's difficult. Some of y'all find it very easy. Some of y'all find it difficult. So I just made the little swoopy, cute little eye with a few little eyelashes at the end. And in the end, I'm happy with how it came out. All right, so that's the little head. We're gonna set her aside for the moment. And I'm gonna pull some peach taffy. So cute, right, Susan? Yeah. That was probably, on my first one, I think I had to do it 4 different times to get the eyes, because one eye would come out good and then the other one would come out janky. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. And then the second one I did, I had to maybe only do 2 times. Only 2 times. But that's, and Shelby tells us to just get a piece of clay and just practice on it. I just never do it. Yes, ma'am, Susan. Yeah, eyelashes are hard. Eyelashes are hard. All right, little peach taffy clay. Pull it out. Oh, all kinds of bubbles. All kinds of bubbles. Okay, and then my circle cutter. No, this is not the right size. This is not the right size. Is there a size in between these two? I think there's a size in between these two. Pause, please. And again, this set is from Annie's Treasures. I've had it a really long time, and it's one of my favorite go-to sets. I think this is the right size. Yeah. I don't know why I had that other one. They were probably all out on my table last night, and I put the wrong one away. Fine tip marker. I have not, but I've heard some people have success with that one. AAA. You just have to wait until your clay is dry, because if you try to do it, because I have, when your clay is wet, it'll sink down right into your clay, because I have tried the marker, because I feel like it might be easier to use a marker. All right, and then on this, oh, I need a little piece on this. Oh yeah, my table is getting very full. So I'm doing a live sale today at 2, and it's gonna be handmade stuff. So if you guys are looking for gift items, I'm going to be offering a lot of handmade. That's probably a little bit too much. We just wanna build up a little bit on the back of her head. This is gonna be the hair on the back of her head, and we just wanna build it up a little so she doesn't have a flat head. So I didn't even measure, guys. I just a little piece of peach taffy, and we're gonna put it on the back of her head like that. This is the same technique, y'all, when people add the little piece of foam clay or the half of the styrofoam ball to create the cheeks. This is the same situation. Hi, Tanya, how are you? Then we're gonna put this piece, I'm going to roll it just a little to stretch it a little, because it was the right size, but I want to make sure it goes around the sides of her little head, so she's not bald on the sides, all right? And then we're going to stretch it a little bit more. You don't need it super thick, guys. And maybe, let me backtrack. Maybe roll it a little bit thicker, and then that'll allow you to do what I'm doing, stretch it, so it will fit around the size. And I can't really give you measurements because your head might not be the exact same size as mine. All right, so I'm gonna start on the bottom here and make sure I cover that. It doesn't matter, you'll see. When I fold it over the top, we're gonna fix that. She's gonna get some bangs and end up being cute, but I wanna bring it off to the sides first to cover, like halfway on the side of her face. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this other side. Secure the bottom. And I'm just finger pressing it and pulling it as I need to, okay? And then look to make sure she's kind of even on both sides. And too, with me doing those eyelashes last night, they're good and dry. So that's another reason, you guys, I like to prep a couple of the pieces like beforehand. Tanya sent me a picture of the gingies. Me, Diane? Tanya sent, I don't know what that means. Then I'm gonna bring it up on the top of her head, and if we have any ruffly excess, I'm just gonna cut it off. that little bit of excess because we're gonna do her some bangs. So we're just gonna cut that off. You will never see it because we're gonna cover it. And then I'm just smoothing it down. She's gonna look a little weird at first, okay? But that's okay, we're gonna fix it, okay? But basically we covered the back of her head. It's a little bumped out where we put that underneath. I'm just gonna finger press it down to make it not look like a top knot in the back of her head. Just smooth it down a little so it just kind of makes it look like a cute little round head. Can you see the dimension? Okay. Hi, Sandy. Oh, okay, good, Sandy, because I recently emptied out our storage unit here, and I had a few last boxes from when we moved that I just haven't had time to go through yet. So I have a lot of crafts, handmade stuff that I've made in the past. So it's stuff that you've never seen before. That'll be at 2 o'clock. All right, so we're gonna roll out some more peach taffy. This step is a little tricky, but you can do it. And I'm gonna show you like 2 different ways that you can do it, all right? I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna roll out some more of this clay. Okay. And then I'm gonna take that same cutter and cut us another circle. Hopefully I didn't roll it too thin. If I did, we'll just do it again. I'm doing good on time, guys. I'm doing good on time. All right, peach taffy, set that to the side. All right, so then I made me a little template for her bangs. Stackable gingies last night, so cute. I'm gonna have to go in pink. Tuesday nights are, you guys know, are Taco Tuesday, grocery shopping. I came home, I hosted Bingo Live, and then I was tired. So I made me a little template for her bangs out of parchment paper, okay? And the 2 different ways you can do this, guys, is you can either, and I'm gonna do it on my parchment paper because I don't wanna cut my silicone mat. Lay your template on top. And you can either use an X-Acto knife and or a little star cookie cutter to make the little slits for the bangs, like that, okay? I'm going to, for my first share for the bangs, I'm gonna use the X-Acto knife. And then for the second item for her hair, I'm gonna use the star cookie cutter. So I'm gonna show you both ways. All right, am I in camera? So, and it's hard because the clay is bang cut out, right, Debbie? Yeah, wait until you see her finish. She's so cute. The clay is wet, so it wants, when you put your little transfer paper over the top, it wants to peel up. So I just do one section at a time. I go in with my X-Acto knife and make a cut and then kind of separate them because you're working with such a tiny little space. It's gonna want to mold back together because it's so teeny tiny, okay? So I did the first cut, now I'm gonna go over here and do the second one. Make the first cut and kind of push it away with my X-Acto knife and then come over here to the second one, push it away and get it out of there. Do the third one, X-Acto knife and push it away and then come back in. It's quiet next door, guys. There are no contractors working next door. I saw yesterday they got a big old shipment of siding delivered. So they're gonna start doing the siding and then it'll get loud again. All right, and then the last one, okay? So that was the method with the X-Acto knife. Now my edges are super jaggedy raggedy. So I'm gonna show you how I fixed that. I'm gonna save this template though. I have a little container off to the side, guys, and I save templates so I can go back and reuse them. Then I take this fancy tool from the dollar store and I kind of go in between all the little jags and clean it up. Just clean it up. So you can see. This one didn't come out too bad. The ones I was doing last night were very jaggedy. So it's like anything. Practice makes perfect, guys. The more you do something, the more comfortable you'll be doing it and the easier it'll come for you. All right. Kind of cleaned up all those little jaggedy edges. Raggedy, taggedy, jaggedy. Okay. Then you have that. All right. So now you're going to come back into your little head and you kind of have to do a few things at the same time because you don't want to just stick it down, because if you just stick it down, you're stuck with that position. So I'm eyeballing to see the placement on her forehead because I don't want jags down too far to cover her cute eyes. I don't want her bangs up too high to make her look like she got a scalp haircut. You want them just perfect. And it's gonna overlap where we left off with that clay, all right? So basically, and I'm going to have to stretch it on the sides too, guys. So let me extend this just a little on the two sides because I know already from practicing last night, I have to extend it a little bit on the two sides, okay? Hi, Deb. Welcome in. All right. And don't worry about fingerprints or imperfections. Hi, sweet Stephanie. How are you? Because as your clay dries, guys, it'll puff up and it'll puff up and all the little imperfections will come out. So don't worry. Any newbies on here, don't worry about it. All right, so I want to show you what I'm doing. So I'm making sure I'm lining it up there because I don't want any of her, the skin color from underneath to show. So you want to line your seam up there first. And then before I have it pushed all the way down, I'm going to one side and making sure my seam on the side lines up almost all the way to the end. And then when I get to the tip, I'm kind of finger pressing it up like that to be a little curl, okay? Then I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side. And you see how you have to kind of manipulate it to get it to go where you want it to go. When the clay is still wet, you can do that. So I made sure it went all the way down, covering what I wanted it to cover. And at the very end, I'm just gonna finger press that little bit of the hair up. You see? On that side and that side. Now I'm gonna go back in and work on that seam to try to, as best I can, smooth it out. She's gonna have a little hat, so a lot of that will get covered, so I'm not going to beat myself up if it doesn't completely blend in, but I'll do my best. And a lot of times too, guys, another little trick is if you take a wet wipe, it will help you smooth out seams and erase fingerprints, okay? Or if you just get your finger wet, it helps you glide over that clay. And like I said, as this dries, it'll kind of melt together and puffen up. The one I did last night, I could see the seam still a little, but it doesn't make me mad. Hi, Raymond, how are you? Welcome. Thank you, Maureen. And then you kind of will have to babysit your little ends of the hair because they're just gonna wanna gravity's gonna wanna pull them. Cutie patootie, right, Debbie? Cutie patootie, look at her little face. And then babysit the ends because gravity is gonna wanna pull them down. And then when you're happy with your placement of your bangs, finger press it all down onto her face, okay? I'm going all around the edges. And again, as this dries and puffs up, it'll be perfect, okay? So there's our little girl, okay? All right, continuing on with her hair. Now I'm gonna show you the star technique to make the little jaggedy edges. So now we're going to make some, what do you call it? Ponytails coming out of her head. Oh my God, you guys. Words. All right, so I have 2, and these are for anyone who wants to reproduce this, to make it, duplicate it. Like I said, I'm gonna end up with 2 of these, so one will be for sale, and I'll probably put her in my live sale at 2. So this is about the 15 millimeter right there. The 12, sorry guys, 12 millimeter of little clay for her ponytail. So you're gonna roll 2 balls, okay? And again, this is Leanne Lett, Sugarworks Fakery, shows how she does this. Measures her clay out and then rolls 2 balls at the same time. So we're gonna roll 2 balls and get all of the creases out, okay? That one looks good. You guys with me so far? Yep, why is some guy pulling in our driveway? Just using our driveway to turn around, basically. Nice, nice. All right, 2 balls, same size. Now we're going to roll each of them into the, not really a teardrop, just kind of flatten it out a little. And then push it down with your finger. Do the same thing to the other one. Push it down with my finger. And then I'm going to flatten the top. Push it down. I'm going to keep working with it. I'll hold it up to the camera so you guys can see. Okay. So you have 2 flat, kind of triangle pieces, okay? So here's the second way you can make the jags. So then you take a small star cookie cutter, and I'm going to do 1, and then where I cut that first one out, I'm gonna do a second one, but kind of connect them on the bottom. 2. So you have that, okay? Spooky looking. Go to the second one and cut out 1. 2, okay? And if you have any jaggedy edges, just clean them up. Okay. Then you have 2 little pieces that look like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the tops of each to kind of make them flat. Everything is little, guys. You guys know I like tiny things, but tiny things can be a little tricky to work with because they're tiny. Okay, there's that. All right, and then with that flat top, I'm going to a little bit finger press it together. Not all the way, because I don't want it pointy, but kind of square it off and finger press it together. So then you have that, okay? Come in and do that to my second one. Finger press it together and square it off at the top. You guys with me so far? All right, so now I'm gonna grab some of the strawberry macaron. Mother-in-law has called me twice. That's fun. That's fun. Susan. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Beth. Tina, Rosalie. I'm reading your name and saying in my head how I'm going to say it. I'm trying to sound it out in my head. Dianera. That's so pretty. What a pretty name. All right, the pink. We're going to roll out a little worm. Okay. And then we're going to come back to our little ponytail and add the worm on top to make a little band, scrunchie, whatever you want to call it, ponytail band, teeny tiny. You can tell I had coffee this morning. My hands are shaking. All right. So then you have the little ponytail band at the top, okay? We're going to come in and do the second one. Are you guys still with me? Hi, Beth. How are you? Yeah, like I said, I am keeping the blue cauldron for myself. The black one I will sell, but I will have to make a pumpkin and a kitty for that one because I only have one resin kitty and one resin pumpkin from my stash. And I'm not buying any more Halloween stuff because this is probably the last Halloween thing I'm gonna make, you guys. I've moved on to Christmas already. 100% full blown Christmas. All right, there's the two little ponytails with the little pony elastic thing, guys. Oh my gosh, what is the word? The thing that holds your ponytail. The little piece of elastic. Oh my goodness, y'all. You're gonna kick me to the curb. I mean, why is it that I go on live and I lose my words? All right, we're gonna bring her back over. We're gonna get some super glue, bring her back over. And because her face has been sitting out and has a little bit of a chance to form a skin over it, I'm gonna add some super glue onto the top of that ponytail elastic. And we're gonna put it on the side of her head. And hold it. AAA, words are hard. Cheryl, you're hanging in with me? Okay. I think you're just gonna love this project. All right, let's do the second one and then I'll hold it up for you to see. It's the teeniest, tiniest little baby ponytail. And I'm eyeballing because I want it to look like the one on the opposite side. And I'm gonna hold it. Hi, Linda, welcome. Oh, that car that turned around in my driveway is next door and they have hard hats and stuff. So I don't know, maybe they're gonna be marking for underground wires. I don't know. Okay, guys, super cute. So there's our little girl, and I showed you how to do the jaggedy hair and the little ponytails, okay? Easy, right, guys? You can do it. All right, next, I'm gonna bring some shadow in. And I usually like to wait until my clay is dry. I always feel like I get a smoother effect in my shadowing when I wait until the clay is dry. This is still a little bit wet, but we're gonna do it anyways, so you guys can see. I wanna finish her during this 1 hour live. It's not too bad. It's not too bad because she's been sitting out on my table a little bit. So it's not too bad. And now they left. Okay, good. Super cute. And you guys, I go really light at first. The face is super cute, right, Cheryl? Are you gonna try to make one? I'm keeping the aqua one for myself because it matches my beachy colors, but the black one, because I made another little girl last night to practice before I came on to make sure I knew what I was teaching you, that I actually could execute. The black one will be for sale. The black cauldron. And I'm gonna have to make a cat and a pumpkin because I only have one resin one left in my stash. Super cute, right, Tammy? Super cute. All right. And you guys know I love big fluffy cheekers on my little characters. I don't make a lot of characters. Something like this I can handle, and little gingies I can handle. The big. Have you guys seen my Mrs. Claus? Oh my gosh, you guys. From Shelby's class, I finally finished her. Oh my gosh, you guys. This kind of reminded me why I don't like making characters. I mean, Shelby taught it and I did it, but it was a lot, you guys. It was a lot. She's absolutely adorable though. I love how she came out. She's baking some gingerbread cookies for her man, Santa. She's making him some cookies. So when he gets home from delivering all the toys and presents, he can have him a snack. All right, let's bring her back over and let's attach this head to the body. And I am going to, like I said, adorable, right? Susan, I love you too. I could have left that, I didn't need to push that toothpick all the way in, but it was fine, guys, it was fine. I'll just do another toothpick. I'm so used to pushing toothpicks in all the way to hide them that I could have left it sticking out and it would have allowed me to attach the head. All right, let me go ahead and put a little pilot hole in the bottom of her head. I want it to go right there. And I'm going to add some super glue onto the toothpick, a little bit onto the top of the torso, and a little bit right onto the bottom of the head. So when I push it on, everything will stick really good. And then say a prayer. You want to do it straight up and down. You don't want it to go cattywampus because you don't want the toothpick to come sticking out. And then hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay. There's our little girl sticking out of the cauldron. Remember I said after I got these pieces placed, after I get them glued on, I'm gonna make little green bubbles, little balls, and put them here and there and all over. All right, last step, 10 minutes, is we're gonna make our little hat. And this, guys, was, for anyone that wants to recreate it, 5 grams. 5 grams of black. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, she was a labor of love. Thank you, Christy. Thank you. All right, 5 grams of black. Super easy. You can make this in two different pieces. You can make the top of the hat, and then you could roll out some clay and cut with a circle cutter for the brim. but I kind of did it all in one piece. I did it all in one piece. I'm going to show you how I did it. Super quick, 10 minutes. All right. Condition the clay, roll it into a ball, and my black clay is not great, guys. It's starting to get old and it's starting to get a little wonky. So I just ordered some new black clay actually from Debbie, and it shipped. It should be here in the next couple of days, which is good. All right, and then I'm gonna roll a very elongated teardrop, guys, okay? Like weird looking. See, and this is all texture on it because it's old clay, but I'm not mad about that because it's a witchy poo hat, so I'm okay with it. All right, and then on the larger end, I put it flat on my table and I just started pushing it down like that and turning it. You see what I'm doing? I'm pushing down and turning, and I'm creating a brim. And it's wonky. It's not completely symmetrical round, but I'm okay with that. I'm doing that on purpose because it's a witchy poo hat, okay? You see how I'm just cattywampus, just pushing the edges of the hat and making it kind of scallopy and wonky looking, okay? Then I'm going to bring it down like this and then back up like that. And this clay is really not good, you guys. It's very dried out, but it's okay. It's okay. All right, and then last, I'm gonna run out of time. No, I got 7 minutes, I'm good. Last, bring some more strawberry back. My strawberry is good, so I don't have to condition it a lot. Find what they have. Roll a worm. Okay, I'm gonna flatten it out. Take my roller and flatten it some more, like that, like that. Okay. Bring my bench scraper over. And cut the sides and figure out how wide I want it. That looks good there. Okay, we're gonna make her a little ribbon to go around the hat. Like, not a brim, just a ribbon. And this wonky donkey black clay. But it's okay, because it gives it a creepy look. My dried out black clay. I'm gonna start in the back and just touch it down onto the black, wrap it around. And when we get in the back, snip it off. And smooth your little ends down. Okay, there's a little brim on her little hat. Bring it over. Get something right there. I think it's a little piece of glitter. I don't know how that happened. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And I am going to add the pink glitter to this pink brim on the hat, guys, but I'm gonna wait to let this hat dry some, because you know if I added it now, it would stick all over the black hat, and then I would be very upset about that. So because I am going to do that, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to add the hat onto this girl right now, but I'll show you my finished one. And then I'll take a toothpick, put it in her head, add the little hat, okay? Then I will add with some E6000, the little resin cat, and the little resin pumpkin. So it'll end up looking like that. Let me bring my finished one over though, so you guys can see. The one I made last night. All right, so there she is. Super cute, right guys? Super cute. And see how I added the glitter to that brim on her hat. So we're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna poke a pilot hole right here in the middle. We'll add some super glue onto our toothpick, and then to the bottom of her torso, and a little bit right around where I made that pilot hole, okay? Push her in, and hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Then I will come back in. I will hand make a pumpkin and a kitty for this one. And then the last thing that we are gonna do is just randomly make bubbles. But I will add the pumpkin and the cat first, and then I will start making some bubbles and adding them just with green foam clay. I'll add a couple to the top so you can see what it's gonna look like. And for the most part, they should stick because we just did that green this morning, so it's still wet, okay? You see how it's gonna look? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give it a try. This black one will eventually be available when I finish her. I don't know if I'll get her done in time for my live sale today at 2, but if you like her, send me a private message if you want to adopt her. She's cute. What should we name her, guys? What should we name her? Let's give her a name. She needs a cute little name. Little cutie pie. What should we name her? Cute, right, Susan? Yeah. All right, it's 12, guys. Let's head over to Christine's page. I'm Snowcrafty, and see what she has in store for us today. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.